After an extensive 27-year period since rapper Tupac Shakur was fatally shot in a car in Las Vegas, a man named Keefe D, who had previously boasted about his involvement in the crime, has finally been apprehended. However, this arrest is just the beginning, as Keefe has also confessed that Diddy orchestrated the entire incident and paid him a sum of $1 million to eliminate both Tupac and Suge Knight. Recent reports suggest that Keefe may be considering cooperating with authorities by providing information on Diddy. This situation has likely left Diddy in a state of panic, as his alleged connections with law enforcement may no longer offer protection. It appears that a larger narrative linked to Diddy is imminent, raising the question of whether Diddy could face consequences alongside Keefe D for the murder of Tupac. Let's delve deeper into this matter. A significant breakthrough has occurred in the unresolved case of the tragic 1996 incident that claimed the life of the renowned Tupac Shakur. A man, Dwayne Keefe Davis, who prosecutors claim played a role in planning the events, has been arrested and formally charged with murder in Las Vegas. Davis, who has long been under investigation as one of the initial suspects, has now been identified by authorities as the mastermind behind the group involved. Currently 60 years old, Davis was apprehended while taking a walk near his residence on the outskirts of Las Vegas. The arrest took place shortly before prosecutors announced in court that a Nevada grand jury had indicted him on one count of murder with a deadly weapon. He has a court hearing scheduled for the following week. The jury has voted to include a gang-related sentencing enhancement, which may result in an additional 20 years being added to Keefe's sentence if he is found guilty. Although Keefe is not accused of being the gunman who killed Tupac, Nevada law allows someone to be charged if they aid in the commission of a crime. Several electronic devices were taken during the search of Keefe's home, including a copy of Vibe magazine showing Tupac and a book titled Compton Street Legend, which Keefe co-authored. The police's interest in Keefe reportedly originated from his appearance in the Netflix documentary series Unsolved and the subsequent release of his book Compton Street Legend a year later. Both the documentary and the book implied that Keefe had been present inside the car with the person responsible for Tupac's murder. Initially, during the initial investigations, Keefe denied any involvement and was cleared of all charges. However, in the documentary and book, he hinted at the events surrounding the murder. In July 2019, during an interview on Vlad TV, Keefe admitted his role in Tupac's death, confirming that he had been a passenger in the white Cadillac on the night of the incident. Although he refused to disclose the identities of the other individuals in the car, he affirmed that the shooter was Orlando Anderson, his nephew. Keefe also mentioned that the shooting was in retaliation for a prior altercation at the MGM Grand, where Tupac and his crew had confronted Orlando. However, there is one crucial aspect that the police have not yet publicly addressed. Keefe D has also previously claimed that Diddy offered a sum of $1 million to the South Side Crips to carry out the murders of Tupac and Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight. Former LAPD detective Greg Kading, who worked on the investigations of both Tupac and Biggie Smalls, has publicly stated that there is evidence indicating that Diddy paid Keefe $1 million for this purpose. In fact, there exists a recording of Keefe confessing this to investigators years ago. The reason for the 27-year delay in arresting Keefe remains unclear, especially considering his confession and his willingness to openly discuss his involvement on various podcasts. The internet and fans have speculated that authorities may have wanted to ensure that Keefe would be willing to cooperate and provide information on the alleged true mastermind, Sean Diddy Combs. Thus, for a significant period, the prevailing theory was that Tupac was targeted due to his altercation with Orlando Anderson, Keefe D's nephew, and that other stories involving Diddy and Biggie were merely conspiracy theories. There is a belief among many that Diddy's statement about offering a $1 million bounty on Tupac was merely intended to create controversy, and Keefe D later used this to implicate Diddy in Tupac's case. Both Orlando and Keefe had connections to Diddy and Biggie, as they provided security for them. Diddy allegedly hired Keefe D for security because he believed Keefe was a respected figure in Compton, whom Suge Knight would not challenge. The reason Tupac confronted Orlando was reportedly due to Orlando stealing a Death Row medallion from Trayvon Lane, an alleged gang member affiliated with Death Row Records. Orlando's motive for stealing the medallion was supposedly Diddy's desire to use a Death Row chain to taunt Suge Knight in an upcoming music video. It is possible that Tupac's murder was a result of a random act of violence that went awry. Thus, this case may be less complex than some perceive, as gang members often target others for far fewer reasons. Despite some fans believing that there was no randomness involved, the speculation continues regarding Diddy's alleged $1 million offer to Keefe D to eliminate Suge Knight and Tupac. Keefe D, in his interviews, portrayed Diddy's offer as non-serious. However, with Keefe's recent arrest and charges, people are speculating that authorities may have found evidence linking Diddy's offer to Tupac's case. Keefe previously claimed that he never received the $1 million because he never had a chance to speak with Diddy after Tupac's murder. This implies that the story of the bounty on Tupac's head lacked concrete proof, but there is reportedly evidence suggesting that Diddy gave the money to an intermediary, Eric Von Zip, who allegedly used it to open a nightclub instead of passing it to the Southside Crips. So far, the police have likely been unable to find direct evidence linking Diddy's offer to Tupac's death. However, Diddy never actually addressed Keefe D's allegations, and when he was asked about this on The Breakfast Club, he said he didn't even want to entertain the nonsense. It's going to be really interesting to see what comes up in Keefe D's trial, and you already know we will keep you posted on everything.